Hello and welcome to Heavy Heart Digital. I am here with Tommy from the Nerd Vault, and today we are going to be looking over the animation I created for their channel. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm cold.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
an
currently
understatement.
like 1 degree.
It's
So
fresh.
we're gonna be hitting play in just a second to have a look at what what I've recorded. I basically recorded my entire journey through the animation that I made for you.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, I just thought we could have like a conversation regarding pixel art, regarding our experiences growing up in like the 90s, and yeah, just like what you do, what your channel's about, why I made this, that sort of thing. And yeah, so if you're ready to hit play, we can go in 3, 2, 1, play. All right.
There we go.
Cool. So as you can see, this is how we
yeah.
started. You had I believe it was an AI generated vault or something, and we just used the dimension of that. We didn't actually, copy AI vault.
Yeah.
But it was just like you just had something that you're like, yeah, sure, this will work, right?
Well,
And
yeah,
then
I'm not an artist. So
yeah,
I'm very limited in what I can do. So I was like, well, AI is good enough for now because I can't do anything else.
no, that's fair. But like, I
Yeah,
looked at it and I was like, man, it's so AI. So I
yeah,
was
it
just
was
like,
very AI.
I'm like, dude, I could just make you something that's, it's got a bit more soul. It's like, it's better. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's like visually as stunning, but at least it's like completely original, stylized, and realized.
Oh, dude, it's 100 times better.
But it's interesting
And
how it started out as a brightly lit Christmas package, and we've already gone beyond that. Right now, we're speeding through 55 hours of footage over the course of about 36 minutes.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot in this.
I record like there's a few hours that were not recorded, and that was just like figuring out a couple of mistakes within the program Aseprite itself. And that was forgetting, like when I was moving between the frames and selecting on a layer, you got to select the little node, otherwise you move the picture on all layers, and that is a problem. Well, not on all layers, on all frames, so that can cause a problem when you're trying to animate something. Yeah, there was a few times I did that, so I edited those. Oh, I didn't edit them out. I just didn't record myself fixing them because they were, well, just fixes.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need to record absolutely everything.
Well, I mean, I recorded most.
You do.
Like, as I said, like 55 hours were recorded, roughly
Yeah.
55 hours, like give or take an hour.
Yeah.
But like already we are looking at, and yeah, you can see me just like speeding through in the top left. But yeah, I believe that I started this with a conversation with you actually. We're trying to figure out exactly what we wanted to do with it. Now, as you can see, the Nerd Vault here, the text is already there. I did that off camera. I moved my face because I wanted to show people the layering and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, believe it or not, I didn't actually care too much about pixel art prior to maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Jeez.
I didn't properly respect pixel art as a form of art. I always thought it was simple and easy, and basic. So I didn't really understand all the like the complex mechanisms that you got to understand, like an in-depth understanding of like art, lighting, shading, in order to be able to actually pull it off and make it look presentable. Because it's not like the simple, let's say, original Nintendo. Let's just say using Mario as an example. Primary colors, everything is kind of like scaled down, very basic, but it's serviceable. It was a game that you got the gameplay. That the visuals didn't matter all that much. They were bright, they were colorful, they grabbed your attention, that sort of thing. But that's kind of like all I saw it as until I started doing it, and then I realized, man, this shit takes fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about pixel art, like prior to, well, my experience with this at least?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was of a similar vein. I never looked at pixel art and went, holy crap, that looks so good. Look at how amazing this is. I always kind of just looked at it and went, yeah, cool, whatever, and then moved on, and then went for, oh, this has so many more pixels in it, and it looks so much cleaner and nicer and better. Because apparently more pixels equals better quality.
Yeah,
That's the way
well, it can.
that's
Yeah.
how I always looked at it.
Uh,
But yeah, after seeing this, it was definitely 180 to that train of thought.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing with pixel art is that like you can scale it down. It can be bare bones, it can be basic, or it can be extremely extravagant. Like I would like to say a game that really showcases what pixel art can do would be like Kingdom 2 Crowns. It's such
Yeah, I
a
don't know that one.
visually stunning game. You're just riding on a horse going left and right, but like you got the reflections in the water, you've got like all the trees and the environments, all the characters. Like the characters themselves aren't exactly like extravagant. They're not like highly detailed or anything like that. It's more like kind of like a Bob Ross painting where it just sort of comes together. There's a day and night cycle, and like during those in between hours it just looks so beautiful like the whole time. You could just stand in one spot provided you're not getting attacked by enemies, but you could just stand in one spot and just admire the the day night cycle and how that affects the pixel art. Like it's just so amazing what they did. So I kind of wanted to represent that in my like projects and future projects. Oh, as we can see here, a basic bitch.
The first cultist.
Yeah, the tiniest first cultist. Then we scaled it up, and I was trying to provide an example as to how different it is when you go 13 by 16 versus 19 by 19, and then adding like little details like the little bit of light from the candle and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like that was all experimentation. This was all just trying to figure out exactly what I wanted out of it, as well as what you wanted out of it and what I was capable of. So that's the beauty about this project, and thank you for allowing me to do this for you. Is I got the practice I needed to actually do more with what I plan to do in the future. I've got 55 extra plus hours on Aseprite just doing this.
Yeah, that's a decent chunk, because they say it takes 10,000 hours to be proficient at something.
Yeah, well, I've got over I think it's 660, maybe close to 700 hours in Aseprite total from all the experimentation and stuff that I've been doing.
Damn, that's a lot of hours.
Yeah, but that like I would assume some of that is also like me eating food and shit. Like it's how long the program has been open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I leave it running on the background, which I don't generally do, I close the program if I'm not using it, but I'll take breaks like every 20, like for like 20 minutes at a time, that sort of thing. But like, if you even take away 100 hours from that, that's still 500-600 hours of just pixel art. Like, yeah. So, even if you took away 100 hours, that's still a lot of time to spend honing a new ability. It doesn't come naturally to everybody. It came naturally to me mainly because of my background in, I'm the son of a photographer and artist. I was there, holding, like, paying close attention to lighting and stuff because I was my mother was the photographer. I was setting up the reflectors and stuff to shine on models that created, like, really visually stunning from life to picture images, right?
Yeah.
And so I had a basic understanding of lighting since I was before I could speak properly. So I was doing this sort of stuff at like the age of 4 and 5 and moving up to like, I think I stopped doing it around my teens. But yeah, it was like I grew up understanding lighting. So I think that helped quite a lot in terms of making a believable or at least a passable representation of art, even if I at the time didn't consider myself an artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a fun ride, like experimenting through this, and like you coming up with couple of ideas here and there, and I just like put it to practice. Like you said, you wanted the cultist to be purple, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, originally this started off as just you going, "Oh, I could do a better logo, do pixel art logo," and it started off just a logo, and that was it. And then it became a full blown intro sequence, and just
Yeah.
kept getting expanded and expanded and expanded, longer and longer and longer, until it became, oh, now we've got this cultist, and it was just going to be the cultist walks up, gets killed, and then that was the end of it. And then it, oh no, now we've got the purple cultist for a mate of mine who passed away. His favorite color was purple, so I said, yeah, let's make it purple, and then he can get splattered and killed horrifically,
And
because he
I
would
felt
find
very
that hilarious.
uncomfortable about killing someone who's already dead. So I was
But,
like, I'm going to palette swap this guy and we can kill off
Yeah.
these guys instead. Like,
which is fine. I
Yeah.
know that he would genuinely be like, that's hilarious and amazing. Look how I died. Let's make it more brutal. This is funny. which is that's just him. But
Yeah.
we've swapped it so he's still going in the nerd vault. This
Yeah,
whole
he's still got a
vault
tribute in there.
underground
He's still
system.
around, you know.
Yeah,
Giving a bit
So
of
I got
life
this-
back into something, especially like, you know, having someone who's near and dear to your heart who's no longer with us can like have a second life in and pay tribute in something that they would probably appreciate is I don't know, I feel like that added a little bit more volume for me emotionally as well, like because I'm like I'm doing something that's kind of important.
Yeah, well, I can't, was it Tom Segura maybe? Well, someone said there are 3 stages of death. You die 3 times.
And the
There's once
final death
when-
is when you are no longer remembered.
Yeah, you die once when you physically die. The second time you die is when everyone that personally knew you is dead. And then the third time you die is when nobody remembers you at all.
Yeah.
When you're no longer spoken about. So I feel like this is going onto the internet and will be there until the world is dead.
Well, until the internet's
When
dead.
Well, yeah, I feel like the world, like the internet is probably going to last till the end of days.
Well, to the
realistically.
end of humanity, maybe. Yeah.
Humanity, at least, yeah. So at least he's immortalized here
Yeah.
until that time.
Not just that, because we've got all the sprites and stuff already like handmade, handcrafted. All I have to do is a slight bit of tweaking, and then I can put this into a video game engine and just make it like just a short interactive piece, so I can get used to, like, as I was using this to get used to Aseprite, I can now get used to, like, I don't know, a program like Godot or something like that, where people can interact with the vault and whatever monstrosities come out of it, with only creating a few more sprites of and animations for the cultists and maybe a couple of extra monsters and stuff. I've already done the complicated bit. So it's just a few more things, and then add that into an engine, put some number values on there. But the purple cultist will be a part of that too. I was thinking the opening animation, this entire animation could be the start of just a basic little game that people can enjoy as a little experiment for my own knowledge and exploration as to which engine I plan on using for like a 2D game or something like that, you know? So it serves many purposes, and I think that from an educational view is very beneficial, because if I worked on something that I was like majorly passionate about from the get-go, nothing would get done. And they always say that, like, you know, you got to do like 90% of something, and then the extra 10% is where it really fucking matters. And I managed to get this done because it wasn't like something that you know, I'm going to be a perfectionist about. It was something that I went, yeah, I mean, like, this is going to be fun. So this was like a fun little side project for me, which helped me learn something about myself and my abilities, and sort of opened the door to many other things. And by using that and not having like, because like this is something I'm creating for a friend just for fun on the back burner. And if I do the same with the concept of the video game, which is not really a video game, it's just like an interactive, I guess you could call it like a game demo sort of thing. Once I've done that,
used to game mechanics.
then, you know, I don't have any like personal stake in it outside of, oh, this will be fun for my friend to just be like, hey, someone made a fan game. This is fun. I mean, it's stupid, it's short, but it's fun, you know. And there you've got your purple friend there as well, which is a part of it. So I don't know, like there's many like it's also an interactive media that your friend is being remembered through, and that puts a little bit more like emotion into how I feel about things, because I want to make sure that I don't overly care all that much in terms of like the project. It is what it is, but having it mean something to someone else, it makes me put in the extra effort, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I kind of let you have free reign with this to do basically whatever you wanted to do. Because I know that you're still learning. So and it's not like I'm going, oh, here's $5,000, make this intro, and then I'm good. If I was, you know, spending that kind of cash, then I want to be very specific.
You'd want to be very involved.
Yeah, but I just kind of like, yep, let's do a vault door, and then just you came up with so many ideas. Oh, we could do this, we could do this. We could do
why don't
this,
we just animate a dude? So I came up with a character, and that was my first character animation that I've ever done. Ever.
And it looks sick.
Like that wasn't, you know, the animation of myself, which people have seen over and over. Which is a part of my Patreon promotion as well. We interrupt this program to thank our members on Patreon. Your contribution helps Scarab Enterprises as a whole. All tiers are equal in benefits, and the entry is only $1 USD. We even have shadow tiers for those who do not wish to be named but want to show their support. Join now. Our Patreon link is in the description. Promotion as well. But yeah, the little cultist dudes, that was the first time I animated a pixel art character that is fully realized. Yeah. And then I've never, not once, ever created a vault door or one that opens in a kind of a 3D way. Like the illusion of 3D in a 2D. I didn't know when I first started this that I would be making something with volume, depth, and, you know, like believable lighting. I didn't think that I'd be able to make a 2D image pretend to be 3D and it to be believable. I had no idea what I was doing when I got into this, and yet here we are.
Yeah.
So
100%.
If I'm able to do this, why wouldn't I do something more? Is what I'm trying to get at now, with all of the projects that I've got in the works, in the background, TTRPG, video game ideas, all that sort of stuff. If I surprise myself and am able to make a fully realized animation just for the sake of it, what would happen if I put my mind to something?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Hang on one second.
Whenever you're finishing it off.
Just had to close the door. Loud cat.
Right. Yeah, I don't have that problem.
But yeah, like imagining, like just seeing how this was created, the amount of hours it took, and all the little nuances and details. Like, like we're halfway through it now, but you've seen like how I added detail and stuff. This isn't even the half of it, literally.
Yeah, this to me, I cool, we're done. But then you just kept on going and going and going. I'm like, it's done now. Like,
it's done. Yet. It's done. Stop. Please stop.
Like 5 minutes into this video, I was like, yeah, there we go. It's finished. And then you're just like, no, we keep going. We keep going.
I had to add detail,
okay.
Man.
Yeah, that's why I just sat back and went, hey, you do what you feel like doing. And then it's done when it's done.
Yeah,
because I know what you're like. You just keep on going. You're like, oh, I can add this. Oh, I can add that.
Yeah, like, that could just be the ADHD. But yeah, I tend to get very excitable.
Oh, dude, I'm 100% the same. That's why I have 2 channels and not just focusing on one. Because I can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's why I'm working on a TTRPG as well as multiple game ideas. Because it
exactly
needs
right.
to be fully realized. I need to, because I've got an interconnected world that I need these games to sort of link. And that's difficult if you're only creating one thing at a time and you're going to look over it, think about it. Yeah, like when you release projects and stuff, you'll be looking back on it and being like, why the hell didn't I include this earlier? Why didn't I include that? Why didn't I? And I don't want to have to keep going back and forth adding lore and whatever else. I want there to be something that is 100% canonical, a little bit of room for interpretation, but the most part of everything needs to be fully realized. So then when people go to and from games, they can make their own connections and be like, oh, this is neat.
Yeah, but on saying that, once you have it all finished, you'll go back, look at it, and be like, oh, I totally could have done this, or man, I should have done that. That would have been cool. I guarantee you'll find other things. You'll be like, shit, I should have put that in.
Yeah, but I probably will though. Free updates all the way, as you've seen with our mission statement.
Yes.
So I can add things along the way, but I'd rather have when I'm working with things, because the interlinked worlds, universe, whatever you want to call it, they need to be built at the same time for them to make sense if they're going to go between different projects.
Yeah.
Also, this smoke was a bitch to do. There is so many mistakes that I made, which helped me learn. But the reason this took 55 hours, I don't think this would take me 55 hours if I did it again. And the reason for that is I learned so much while working on this that all the rest of the things that I'm going to do is going to be so much faster. And so far, it has been.
Yeah.
So the stuff that isn't this, I managed to finish this in, I think it was, I just put my nose to the grindstone for 3 days.
Jesus.
And that was the final bit. So that was including a bunch of like I think I had it when he fell over. And then there was a bit of time where I had green tentacles. And then we're not up to that stage yet in the video, but yeah, after I did the falling over, I took a little bit of a break, and then it was very hot. Don't really work well in summer because being in the studio is just torturous, as the computer adds a lot of heat and stuff as well, so you're just sweating your ass off, get nothing done, and then you're just miserable. So what I did was I took a break, and then I came back, did the tentacles, and was like, this is a cool concept. Took another break. Here we go with the tentacles. And this is how I did it. I just did a nice bright color. Tried to figure out exactly how I would make it work. And then once I was done with that, I took a break. I had a look. I thought about it. And then I went, okay, it's taking too long. I need to get it done. And then for 3 days straight, I just went nuts and got it finished. And that's how this sort of came to be, was just like experimentation, fixing some problems, fixing some flaws, keeping some flaws in there because it would take too fucking long to fix.
Yeah.
There are still some major flaws in there. Yeah, there's some major flaws that are driving me nuts.
I couldn't. If you were to say pick one flaw or one mistake that's in here, I couldn't. I don't notice any of it.
On the closed vault door, there is 1 pixel out of place for the bottom of the bronze. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, man, I'm never picking that.
There's a strong chance I'll fix it if I turn it into a game.
Yeah, right.
So it's just there's several glaring issues that I can see, and Discord needs to stop doing that. What? Stop making noise. I'm recording. But yeah, there's some pretty glaring issues that I hate, mainly with like some smoke, a couple of issues with the vault door itself, or the shading, or the shape, and then I think there was a major issue with being dragged into the vault by the tentacle. I made this very sketchy, bare bones, and kind of crude on purpose because, well, I wasn't like 100% committed to the project in terms of its longevity. I just wanted to make something crude so then you could be like, hey, this is cool. I like this. Thanks. And that's it. But like also, if I went into more detail, like if you're going to make something highly detailed, highly like fully realized, then instead of just having 2-3 frames for the animation of the dude being dragged away, you would have him like grabbing onto the vault door and whatever else, trying to like, you know, hold on to dear life. Instead, he just sort of gets dragged into the thing and disappears.
Which, that's totally fine.
Yeah, but like if I was going to give myself more time to do it, I would have added some extra animation frames for that. And it would have made it look better. But the thing is that it didn't need to because of what the project actually is. It's a crude pixel art first experiment. And but it still has charm, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So as you can see here, I'm putting him into the vault and like it's just bit by bit animating the tentacles, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't make sense physics wise. Let's add another tentacle there and wrap it underneath him, so then, you know, it kind of makes sense rather than him being dragged in and then him floating for some of it. Like it doesn't. That's not how physics works. So I put a tentacle underneath him.
Yeah,
giving the illusion that person has weight.
It's quite a lengthy sequence.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it, as itself, the characters. It doesn't take long to create the characters. The vault door and the environment in the background, like, yeah, sure, it takes a few hours to do that, but to animate everything, to have it all work together, like, this is about, like, 300 frames, like, or something, like, as a fully realized animation. As you can see here, like, the firing of the gun, the adding the shell casings as well, trying to keep them all separated and make them not just, you know, the same animation over and over, because it would just look like a still image if I did that. And then I added like little tufts of smoke and stuff from the exiting the gun. Fuck, I've forgotten what that's called. I'm all about understanding weaponry, and I forgot what that's called. The ejection case, whatever. the ejection port, I think it's called. I can't remember.
I have no idea. I don't like guns, so
yeah,
that's over my head.
Well, I mean, killing a monster with a gun would be more preferable, right?
I mean, in this very specific situation, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. You'd want a gun. Well, I had the dude come in because, like, I don't know, cultists get money and weaponry and stuff. So I was like, screw it. I mean, it makes sense.
I think in this very specific situation, if I was to choose one weapon to be able to defend myself with, I'd want some form of an explosive that I could just lob into the door and run away.
Oh, it's like a grenade.
Yeah,
I honestly thought you were going to go with a flamethrower. I'm like, a flamethrower would be good.
Flamethrower potentially, but yeah. So I'd want something that goes big boom, and maybe that'd do more damage and give me time to run away like a little bitch. Actually, can you say little bitch when you're running away from something like this? I feel like that's...
No, I think that's just common sense.
It's acceptable.
Yeah. Well, as you can see here, the tentacles were very bare bones and basic. I was going to leave it like this with just 3 colors, the purple, the blue, and then the green for the suction cups. But I decided that wasn't enough and went ahead and shaded it. Because I had to do that. Because that's who I am.
That's, to be expected.
Yeah. So here I am just going over all of just for that, specifically that one tentacle, going over all of the suction cup placement and everything, and then adding more and more and more and making sure every frame works. So yeah, it was a bitch to do, but I managed to get it done in 3 days. All of this stuff that we're watching now was done over the course of 3 days.
Yeah, that's insane.
When I was like, okay, I'm going to finish it this week. I think I messaged you. I'm like, I'm going to finish it this week.
Yeah.
And I got it done.
Yeah, I don't know how you managed that, because I do not
just
have
did my
the
work.
focus. Yeah, I can't focus like that. That's beyond
I'd
me.
put on Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Star Trek or one, like both, and then just watch that on the second monitor, had the recording going, and for the primary monitor, and then just sort of did it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like my work ethic is just like get it done, so I do. Like there's no reason not to. Like I started something, I should finish it. Like
I eventually finish most of what I do, but the amount of unpainted minis I've got on my shelf right next to me is abysmal. Like there's so much sitting there going, hey, are you going to finish this painting? And I look at it and go, nah, probably not. And I do something else.
I think over the course of the last 3 days, I think 2 of those days was like a 6 to 12 hour day, and one of them was a 12-hour day, and then I think the finishing up was about like 4 or 5 hours.
Jesus.
Oh, they're multiple recordings. Every time that this fades to black is going from one recording to the next.
Yeah.
I probably should have stated that at the start of the video.
Oh no, I think it's. I would assume it's quite self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But
there was so much I didn't like about this project, but I think that like I had fun doing it, but there was like bits of the smoke that just irritated me, and it wasn't overly obvious as to what I should or would do, how it would be fully realized. But like the final results, it's still, in my opinion, slightly janky, but I think it's good enough.
It's got its janky charm.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, we're not a refined channel, so that works.
Yeah.
We're not going for elegance.
Though I did put a lot of detail in this in terms of like even looking at the... Alright, so right here I'm creating stuff for the weird ghost face thing. I have no idea what that is. But I said there's going to be like a creepy face that does something, and eventually I got one in and turned it into some weird sludge ghost yellow teeth monster. I don't know what it is. It's just something that I didn't want to animate the guy turning around, the guy with the gun turning around, leaving. I just was like, I'm just going to whisk him off in the mouth of the beast.
Add in another character.
Yeah, I'm just like, let's just get this guy off the screen with something. And I didn't want to animate like the tentacle again to go and smack him or something. So I just went, okay, let's just get this thing to float and carry him away. Then the blood was supposed to be really gruesome with our original idea. And I ended up scaling it down just because it didn't need it. Like it wasn't
there's a lot
overly
going on.
Yeah, there is a lot happening. So I just didn't think it needed too much gore.
Yeah. Definitely not. And I think a little bit of blood serves this animation a lot better than being like crazy over the top.
Yeah.
Our original idea that the gruesomeness would have worked well. Yeah. Which was just a simple splat him against the wall and that was the end of it.
But then you wouldn't have all of the crazy shit that happens. Because it's like, it starts out slow and it ends real fucking fast.
Yeah.
Because it starts out, dude is walking up to a vault. It opens, it starts to open, he gets startled, tells someone else to deal with it. Then that person walks up to the vault, it actually opens, and then smoke billows out of it. You got this weird stuff happening. An eye starts peeking at him. You got tentacles coming out of the vault and everything. He turns around, he pulls up his dress, and he's like, "Noping the fuck out of here." He turns around, runs, falls over, gets dragged into the vault. One of his friends comes in with a gun, starts shooting up the place. Then the ghost face thing comes out and carries that guy away. There's bullets flying everywhere. He shoots his own friend. Like, it's just so much happening. And it's just like, it starts out so slow and then ends up being so chaotic that you don't even know what fully happened, and you have to sit through the slow part to experience it again. So it's like a little bit of suspense in there as well. Though it does, in my opinion, feel a little bit rushed.
And now, in terms of storyline, that ghost face thing is now let loose within the vault system.
Yeah, wherever this place is now that thing is out. Things can come out of the vault.
Yeah.
But it also shows that, you know, shooting at it will put it, like, put the tentacle beast away. Whatever that is, a kraken or a this or a that. We don't actually know. We just see an eye popping out. Also, my first time animating an eye in the darkness. Never done it before.
Yeah. And it looks really fucking sick.
Oh, man. I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah.
Here's the highlighting, the lighting and the shading of the tentacles. This is how long it took, man. This is 55 hours that we just sat through.
Yeah, insane.
Like, when you look at the animation itself, would you be like, yeah, that would take 55 hours? Or are you just like, originally, you're just like, okay, it's a pixel art animation?
Well, I don't know a lot about the process of pixel art. So if I was to watch the finished piece and someone was to say, guess how long it took? I genuinely don't know how long I would say, but based upon how long it takes to edit videos and do effects and stuff there, I would probably say anywhere from 20 to 50 hours dependent on experience level.
Yeah, that's fairly accurate. I don't think you'd be able to do this in 20 hours though. I reckon if I could do this all over again, knowing what I know now, it wouldn't take me 55. I reckon I'd be able to shave off maybe at most 10 hours.
Yeah.
At most. And that's just because of the way that I did things as well. Like for a long time, I wasn't copy pasting certain animations and stuff, and I realized along the way, which is another thing that I learned, so thank you, another thing I learned doing this project, here we go, here's the animation, was that copy and pasting the 3 to 6 frames of an animation, like the tentacles just being around the vault itself, that was so useful to be able to copy and paste all of that on top of each other, that I'm never not going to do that. I understand why people take shortcuts because it makes sense, but I don't want to take too many, if that makes sense. So all of that, 55 hours just for that one animation.
Dude, that's phenomenal.
So what are your closing thoughts, man?
If I received that as like a paid thing, I would be fucking stoked. I'm like, you've gone above and beyond the initial concept. Yeah, that's sick. It's probably too long to have the whole thing play out as an intro for YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So it needs to be like just a section of it played.
Yeah.
But 100% on Twitch, then.
Well, I originally designed it for Twitch, actually.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. The whole thing gets played on Twitch between, you put the starting soon thing, the countdown. When that finishes, it transitions over to that, then into the actual stream.
Yeah, that would gives you plenty of time to do whatever you're doing. If you don't have like an opening screen, or if you got to be right back, like you can just have that play a few times, like whatever.
Yeah.
And you said you're going to add some sound effects to it and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some ideas for some interesting sounds.
Wouldn't mind uploading that at some stage, just being like, hey, here's the updated with the sound effects. I didn't do the sound effects. I mean, I will if I get around to doing it in Godot. then 100% I'm going to add sound effects because it's
Yeah.
going to be a bit dull without them. But yeah, just like if I added sound effects to this, like I'd probably be able to do it in an hour. But
Yeah.
because it's not overly complicated. It's just more finding the sound effects that takes time, not applying it.
Dude, that can take a couple of hours just on its own. Finding the right sound effect.
Like, I don't want the feet to sound as echoey.
Yeah.
God, now I'm gonna have to open Audacity and remove the, remove the background sounds and
yeah. So I've got all the lore behind it in my head. So I go, it has to be echoey because it's a really large open area with hundreds and hundreds of volts. So the footsteps would probably echo quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, it'd be good to know the lore, to experience that, and maybe have that carry over into an interactive piece. That'd be fun.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of lore. Again, that's going to be on the back burner. Right now, I'm working on my game design documents and making sure everything is, all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed. But yeah, it's just like as soon as I'm ready to go, all right, fine, I guess I'll get around to messing around with the game engine. Then yeah, I'll start that, get it done, prove that I can move something from Aseprite to a video game engine and that it is interactive and it works and it's bug free. And then once I've figured that out and I've got like the basic understanding, well, I mean, I've already got a basic understanding of how it all works, the same as I did with Aseprite from beginning this. But as long as I've got a good understanding of how health bars work, how hitboxes work and all that sort of stuff, specifically in engine, not just like understanding the concept, but knowing the intimate details of it, including coding and tying everything together, then yeah, this is going to be an interesting first step into my game dev journey. But for now, until I'm at that stage where I feel comfortable to do that, I'm going to just continue with my game design documents. If there's anything you need added or anything to this project, I've got the file. I can just open it and add it in post, and that's fine. But I'm just grateful that I was given a project that I can look at objectively without having my own, perfectionism go into it, which is just going to delay it forever. And then I proved to myself that I was able to do something greater than I originally expected. I was like, yeah, I can make an environment. Yeah, it's easy. And then I was like, what if we animate it, dude? And then I did. And I'm like, what if we animate everything? And the smoke comes out, the tentacles, and someone comes in and shoots some stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be like flashy guns going. Yeah, fun. And then it just became this weird silent piece that is so suspenseful and then action-packed, and it just goes from 0 to 100 so fast. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun working on this. I'm grateful that you gave me the opportunity to do this, and that I'm just grateful that you like what I did, what I turned it into. So what do you do on your channel?
Well, we do anything and everything that is nerdy. We've got a bunch of Warhammer stuff, miniature painting, Perla bead stuff. We have so many ideas. We do board game reviews. We're going to be building, spoiler alert, we're going to be doing a nerdy terrarium build. We do 3D printing. A lot of pop culture related stuff.
I've seen you do a bunch of like unboxing of like nerdy stuff as well.
Yeah. Whenever we get new things in, then we do an unboxing. So I did one for each of the 3D printers that we have. We've got a bit of not a series, but probably a 2-part video coming up where we are turning our house into an escape house for the kids.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
Yeah, man. I'm writing a story for that at the moment. And,
your kids are so lucky.
To put the pieces together.
It's like when people do that for like their kids or their pets, and they just like make their home into like some crazy maze. It's so cool. Yeah. I love seeing that sort of stuff. You ever seen those like little tunnels that people have going from the inside of the house to the outside of the house and back in? And like it's so crazy. I can't remember what they're called, but people do it for like their cats and stuff.
Yeah,
it's amazing the designs that people come up with. So that's what you're up to at the moment, man. That's a lot. It seems like you're going to have a lot on your channel. So if anyone is interested, you can check out the Nerd Vault through the link in the description and keep up to date with what Tommy's doing. He also has a podcast, which is called something.
Yep.
I put you on the spot there.
Well, so I've started. So basically, a lot of what I've done in the past has led to an idea that I had many years ago. I think pre-COVID even.
Yeah.
And so everything's kind of gone towards that. So there are two channels. There is Nerd Vault, which is all of this nerdy crafting sort of stuff, which is like the two aspects of my personality, pop culture, nerd stuff. And then there is also one that is on the way. It hasn't actually officially launched or anything yet. So you get the honor of having the first word of mouth of it. No, that's not what I'm trying to say here.
Yes.
Hearing about it first.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Tuxedo Underground is the second thing that I'm going to be doing, which is where the podcast is going to be. So I would be honored to have you on that one, talking about all of your design work and your different channels and all of the things that make you who you are.
I'd be honored.
That's what the podcast is about. So we've recorded one. We're going to record a bunch, get them edited, ready, and then launch with multiple episodes.
So you have an upcoming podcast?
Yes, an upcoming podcast. So it's Tuxedo Underground, the Sonder project. Sonder being my favorite word at the moment, which is the idea that everyone has a story that is just as interesting and complex as your own.
Interesting story, embracing the individuality of humankind. I love that.
Yeah, and just hearing people's stories and trying to take life lessons from it and learn what we can and apply what we can to our own lives. And yeah, so basically the premise behind Tuxedo Underground is being the ultimate gentlemanly bastard. So I'm the bastard. The guy that I'm filming with is the gentleman, and we're just going to be conquering fears. We are just causing chaos everywhere we go, doing fun things, crazy things. It's going to be a hell of a ride over the next couple of years. That's for damn sure. We've got a massive list, a huge list of podcasts, potential guests that we would like to get on, potential videos. Yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment, to say the least.
Well, it sounds like a fun time, man. Something to look forward to. So we've got the Nerd Vault, we've got the Tuxedo Underground. All the links will be in the description, and if anything doesn't have a link, it will be updated accordingly. So thank you to Tommy for being here and exploring this 36-minute video with us. And if anyone is interested in what I'm doing, you can stay up to date on my Patreon, either that or you can keep up to date over on Scarab Enterprises on YouTube as well. Occasionally you'll find me at Scarab Enterprises on Twitch streaming some of my creative endeavors. Otherwise you'll just find me gaming and wasting a lot of time trying to, well, regain my sanity after spending way too long staring at a screen. By staring at a screen some more while playing games. Oh no, there is a big difference between the colors of pixels merging or like the lines of dialogue that I'm writing. Just when I close my eyes, all I can see is lines. I'm just like, that and playing a game where I'm just like, I don't have to use my brain. I don't have to use my brain. This is peace.
Yeah. No, I do. I totally get it. Going from editing videos or writing scripts to then just playing a game where you can just zone out and appreciate it for what it is. And you don't have to actually, like, you're not mentally dealing with all the stuff. You're just enjoying.
The funny thing is I go from creating something to creating something, and I'll go and play Minecraft where I'm doing a forever world where I'm just gathering resources and building shit bit by bit, basically making pixel art all over again, but in a 3D space. It's like, God, yeah. I can't escape it. I have to be creative 24/7, otherwise I just go nuts. Oh man,
that's wild.
Well, at the cost of my sanity, I'm going to have a lot of projects that people can enjoy. So, I mean, every tortured artist has to deal with this, right? Right?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You're not allowed to be happy and successful.
If you are happy, your art is no good. If you are absolutely stretched, paper thin, then that's when your art's going to be good.
Exactly. Explains like 100% of pop music.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, man. And yeah, well, I guess you'll see me over at the Nerd Vault at some point.
Hell yeah.
All right. Adios, amigos.